येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यामनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। मुकुं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Wonderful, dear devotees. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Kala Mataji, for joining. So,
Yeah,
we are on
happy.
the chapter of devotion. We are reading the happiness of becoming one with the Supreme. It has some inference which we will get clarify here. Srila Rupa Goswami is saying if Brahmananda is basically attaining the Supreme Brahman, which is the light emanating from Krishna's body. Our happiness of becoming one with the Supreme is multiplied 1 trillion fold. It still cannot compare an atomic fraction of happiness derived from the ocean of devotional service. Can you imagine? The yogis, the jnanis, day and night, they go outside in the forest, live in seclusion, f- ignoring the body, doing so much of austerity for what? They want to attain the Brahmananda, attain that Brahman Jyoti. If you multiply that with trillion times, you still can't compare the joy or happiness which is driven from the devotional service. This is very important. We are not practicing an ordinary process. There, without, of course, sometimes it is said, the things which are easy are not considered as important. Like one time there was a cloth washer. What do we call it in Hindi? We call it dhobi. What do we call it in English? What is the right term? Who washes the clothes? Anyone?
Washer, washerman.
Washerman. Yes, washerman. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry, that's a simple word, but I was just missing that part. So the washerman one time approached a sage, and sage gave him a parasamani, a chintamani stone. And then he took that stone, and what did he do with the stone? Because earlier times people would go near the river and wash the clothes, and then they put against the stone. So this washerman was actually hitting against that parasamani, thinking that it is just an ordinary stone to wash the clothes, right? But unfortunately, he never realized what is the significance of that parasmani. It can fulfill all the desire. Another story, there was one lady who was in the forest. She was carrying the wood sticks to actually take it home and then ignite fire and then cook food for based on that. That used to be the earlier time thing. And then that fell off on the ground. And then she was sincerely calling the Lord, my Lord, please come and help me. And Krishna appeared. He said, what can I do for you? She said, can you put these sticks on my head? When Krishna could have get her out of all this business, but we are so caught up in small petty things in our life that we don't understand the importance of devotional service. So imagine here Rupa Goswami is clarifying that the devotional service we are practicing, it should give us more than trillion times happiness. If we are not experiencing that happiness, which means something I'm not doing it correctly, Rupa Goswami says, and Hari Bhakti Subodhya Prahlad Maharaj, while satisfying, actually Nrsingadev Chaturdashi is coming Sunday. Very special time to actually remember Prahlad Maharaj and Nrsingadev, especially remembering the prayers which were offered by Prahlad Maharaj to Nrsingadev. So here one of the prayer is mentioned, while satisfying the Lord Nrsimhadev by his prayers, he says, my dear Lord of the universe, I am feeling transcendental pleasure in your presence and have become merged in the ocean of happiness. Just seeing the beautiful darshan of Nrsingadev, all the devatas, who they were when Hiranyakashipu was being killed, Nrsingadev was very, very angry. Very, very angry. Nobody was willing to go close to Nrsingadev. Everyone was afraid. But Prahlad Maharaj was there next to, even Lakshmi ji was not willing to come. She was also afraid seeing the ghastly form of Nrsingadev being so angry. So they didn't know what to do. But Prahlad Maharaj actually went and offered these beautiful prayers. And that seeing your beautiful darshan, I'm swimming in the ocean of happiness, right? I now consider the happiness of Brahmananda to be no more than the water and the impression left by the cow's hoofprint in earth compared to the ocean of bliss. You sometimes see in rainy season when the animals, especially like calf, whose footprint are very small, and then in that footprint there is little water. So that is the only pleasure which is driven by Brahmananda, who people are working, the gyanis and yogis are working so hard to attain. So he is saying bhakti is trillion. There is no comparison here. Similarly, it is confirmed in the Bhavaratha Dipika, Sridhar Swami's commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, my dear Lord, some of the fortunate persons who are swimming in the ocean of your nectar of devotion, which we are reading actually, and who are relishing the nectar of narration of your pastimes, certainly know ecstasies that immediately minimize the value of happiness derived from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. So just meditating or listening the beautiful pastime of the Lord, one actually drive transcendental pleasure. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, there is one devotee whose name is Mukunda Dutt. He was actually doctor by profession, and he was a doctor for Mughals because Mughals were ruling at that time. So Mughal would call him for any difficulty, any health issues, he would call and he would rely on Mukunda. So one time Mukunda was called upon by this Mughal king, and Mukunda came. And then Mughal king said, this is my problem that I have this. So he said, oh, this, I know what is the problem and I'll give you the medicine. At the time, one of the servant of the king actually brought the fan filled with peacock feather. The moment Mukunda saw just those peacock feather, he fainted seeing just the peacock feather, because he that reminded him of Krishna. And then when he woke up, the Mughal said, what happened? Everything okay? He said, yeah, I have a problem, my health issue. Mughal understood. You don't have a problem. It is actually you are experiencing the highest ecstasy just seeing the paraphernalia of the Lord. Imagine what glorification is there. Just seeing the paraphernalia of the Lord, devotee gets transcendental bliss. What to talk about anything else? Such a transcendent devotee regards any kind of happiness other than devotional service as no better than the straw in the street. Very beautiful pastime is there again in Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are two beautiful personalities are there. One is Kalavit Sridhar. Now we are earning thousands of dollars every month. This person would sell banana leaves. He will sell banana leaves because those in Bengal you see a lot of banana trees. So he would sell banana leaves and cups made of banana leaves. And whatever income he had, he will give 50% in worship of Mother Ganga. His dhoti had more holes than the actual dhoti. His roof had more holes than actually the actual roof. So poor. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one day, when he was giving boons, he was offering blessings to everyone. Whatever you need, I'll give you. He called Sridhar. What do you want? If you want, I'll give you Vankutha. If you want, I will give you Mukti. If you want, I'll make you what to talk about trillion. I will give you a planet. Kalavit Sridhar said, I don't want any of that stuff. I really want only Bhakti. Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Haridas Thakur, actually, Haridas Thakur says, even if you make me a dog at devotee's house, I'm happy. Imagine, it's a very highest platform we can never imagine, and it's beyond our head actually to understand becoming a dog at the house of a devotee. But here it is being referred that that's actually the happiness they are driving just with devotional service. This Sunday we had Sunday feast class given by one of my very close friend. Very beautiful class he gave. There is a nice book, you should get that. It's called as Salted Bread. If you haven't read that, you should read that book. In that book, actually, this is the time of KGB in Russia, in Russian Soviet Union. Religion was banned, but these people, Russians, who got addicted to read Bhagavad Gita, they would actually print Bhagavad Gita, and anybody who would practice dharma there, they will be killed actually. So somehow KGB got hold of few folks here, especially two people, and they were put into jail. What they were given three pieces of bread entire day, just three pieces of bread, completely dry. Now dry you can't eat, so they would ask for the salt so that the saliva can actually eat that. And they have such a desire to chant the holy name of Krishna, they would keep those bread to dry it out and made beads out of that to chant the name of Krishna. Imagine what kind of struggle they went through just to chant the name of Krishna. And we have everything available. But in spite of that, we just have way excuses. I can't do this, I can't do that. And they were actually, it was spelling it. Prabhuji was mentioning, he was just reading one page from that book. So one of this devotee was beaten so bad on the nose, they were kicking him on his nose and mouth. He said they kicked me so much, the whole mouth was bleeding and reached to certain extent that my nose and mouth became numb. Didn't realize somebody is hitting that. And they took their hand, put it in the middle of the metal door. They said, "Tell us, where are Bhagavad Gitas? Where are you printing these books?" He said, "I don't know." They closed the door on his hand and the finger. His fingers were lost consciousness. He couldn't feel that they were fingers, bleeding. Whole skin was out of that. For what? Just chanting the name of Krishna? When things are given easily, we take it cheaply. I'm thinking about myself. But when we really understand the goal, we realize what it takes to get one, right? So that is the beautiful part which we identify, saying that how one's get happiness from Krishna consciousness. The another part which we are covering today. Any questions before we move to the next point? Okay. Attracting Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami is stating that devotional service attracts even Krishna. Can you imagine the power of devotional service? I actually spoke about the story of Bondu. How many of us remember spoke about a person whose name was Bondu? Anybody remember here? Or otherwise I'll tell it again. So this person had a guru in Vrindavan. He would go and herd the cows. He would herd the cows in one of the forest of Vrindavan. And someone told him, you know what? Krishna comes along with his gopas to herd the cows here. So he would come with that hope. One fine day, I will be able to see Krishna. He would cry for Krishna. When will I see? When will I see? When will I see Krishna? And one fine day, when he was coming, he saw beautiful boys radiating their aura, the light coming from their body. And he finally saw that blue boy. He understood he is Krishna. So happy, so happy. Krishna was also happy. And Krishna was so happy, he welcomed Bondu. You come here, you herd the cows with us and have prasad with us. So, anybody remember now or not yet? Okay, no problem. So,
That last part I forgot.
no problem, no problem. It's a very beautiful story. I would love to speak again and again, and you would love to hear as well. So this Bondu came, And then Krishna was so happy. Every day, Bondu will go to see Krishna. He will play with Krishna. So his guru one time asked, "Hey, I see you very happy nowadays. What do you do? What do you do in the forest?" "Oh, I herd the cows with Krishna." "Really, Bondu? You go and Bondu is the meaning in Hindi if you have to call it as like foolish. Very simple. He has no duplicity or any of that stuff. That's the meaning of Bondu. So the Guru know that he doesn't lie, but he was telling, "Can you explain me how Krishna looks like?" And he started describing Krishna's beauty. That he wears beautiful peacock feather, he wears yellow dhoti, his whole body is decorated with blue color. He wears so many beautiful ornaments made out of flower, and his charming beauty attracts everyone, even the flowers, even the birds. And the guru understood it. He is telling truth. Okay, Bondu, do one thing. Tomorrow, why don't you invite Krishna for dal bati? Dal bati is a special dish in Rajasthan as well as near Vrindavan. Why don't you invite? So Bondu said, "Yes, Gurudev, I'll go and invite Krishna." And Bondu came there in the forest thinking about it. How will Krishna be so happy listening to my Guru's request of coming for dal bati? And he said, "Krishna, I have a beautiful news to share." "Yes, Bondu, what is that beautiful news you have to share?" "My Gurudev is calling you for dal bati." "Sorry, Bondu, I have nothing to do with your Guru. I cannot come." "How is that my Guru is calling?" He started crying. Krishna said, "I'm sorry, Bondu, I cannot go come to your Guru." And then he started leaving Krishna, taking his cows away from Krishna. Krishna said, "Where are you going, Bondu?" Bondu said, if you have nothing to do with my Guru, I have nothing to do with you. My Guru is very special for me. And Krishna is calling, Bondu is not listening only. And then Krishna rushed, "Bondu, you did not understand me properly. Why don't I actually meant I cannot come because that is the village of Seva Kunj. Actually, Seva Kunj is the place where he was staying. That is the place of Srimati Radharani. Balramji cannot come. But I want Balramji also. Why don't you invite your Guru to come here and serve us?" Bondu became very happy. He kept running and went to his Guru and told his Guru, "Gurudev, Krishna is ready, but you have to come there." And he was also happy. "No problem, I'll bring dal bati there." And the Guru brought dal bati to where they were herding the cows. And when Guru saw Krishna, he fainted there. And he woke up, started serving Krishna dal bati. And Krishna ate very nicely. And all of a sudden, they all disappeared. So Guru again fainted. "Are, I had a beautiful darshan of the Lord disappeared." Bondu, that was a daily scene. Whenever cow herding is over, Krishna will disappear. So Bondu understood what is happening. That is how the devotion is. Krishna is crying for the devotee. That is why I wanted to share this pastime, because Krishna is saying it. Rupa Goswami is saying that the devotional service attracts even Krishna. Krishna attracts everyone, but devotional service attracts Krishna. Who doesn't want Krishna to be attracted to us? If we have pure devotion, Krishna will be attracted to us. The symbol of devotional service in the highest degree is Radharani. That's why every temple of ISKCON starts with first Radharani. Why? Because Radharani is a topmost devotee. She has so much of devotion for Krishna, nobody can understand. That's why Krishna's name is called as Madana Mohan, which means he is so attracted that he can defeat attraction of thousands of cupids. But Radharani is still more attractive, for she can even attract Krishna. That's why one of the name of Srimati Radharani is Madana Mohana Mohini. One who can attract, the person who is attractor of the Cupid. So this whole world is revolving around Cupid. Of course, that's a perverted reflection of lust, enjoying opposite sex here. But in spiritual world, it is love. But even on top of it, even Madan, even Cupid shies away seeing the beauty of Krishna. And Krishna himself is mad after Srimati Radharani. To perform devotional service means to follow in the footsteps of Radharani. There was one devotee actually came to the temple just last week only. Western devotee, white body. She has been living in Govardhan for more than 30 years. She her every quality, she knows more than 7 languages. And any devotee who come, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, she takes them for Govardhan Parikrama.
Oh, Pranatana Prabhu's wife. Yeah.
Correct. Pranadhana Prabhu's wife, Mataji. Yes. Very beautiful attraction she has for Srimati Radharani. So simple, so down to earth. Her devotion was mesmerizing, was melting everyone's heart. Very powerful. That is devotion. Our heart melts, and Krishna seeing our devotion, he melts. So a devotee, devotional service means to follow the path, footsteps of Srimati Radharani. And devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Radharani. That's why when you go to Vrindavan, they say Radhe Radhe. They don't say Hare Krishna. Because everything around Vrindavan is Rajeshwari, Vrindavaneshwari, which is Srimati, who is Srimati Radharani. In other words, devotional service is not an activity of material world. Though we are practicing in material world, but it is not a material activity. It is a spiritual activity. It is directly under the control of Srimati Radharani. When we offer the bhoga to Krishna, we offer to Guru, Guru offers Prabhupada, Prabhupada offers to Guru Para ultimately comes to Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani offers that to Krishna. And Krishna asks, who is this? Who made this? Did it made by Divya Das? Yes, Srimati Radharani says, I can't believe it. This rascal can make like that. So when I cook the food, I may have lust, envy, anarthas, everything is there. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, matsarya. Srimati Radharani removes that and put her love. And she says that this person has made it. And Krishna knows, but he says, oh, really? Okay. And Srimati Radharani says, please shower your mercy upon this. In Bhagavad Gita, it's confirmed that Mahatmas or great souls are under the protection of Daivi Prakriti, internal energy. Who owns internal energy? Srimati Radharani. So, being directly under the control of internal potency of Krishna, devotional service attracts even Krishna himself. This fact is corroborated by Krishna in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is Srimad Bhagavatam canto 14, sorry, canto 11, chapter 14, verse 20. It says, my dear Uddhava, this is the whole book is on Uddhav Gita. Krishna again spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Uddhav. So that is covered in 11th canto. So he is telling to Uddhava, Krishna is telling to Uddhava, my dear Uddhava, you may know it from me that the attraction I feel for devotional service rendered by my devotees is not to be attained even by the performance of mystic yoga, philosophical speculation, ritualistic sacrifices, or the study of Vedanta, the practice of severe austerities, or giving of anything in charity. Nothing can actually attract me except devotional service, except bhakti. These are, of course, very nice activities, but they are not as attractive to me as the transcendental loving service, the devotional service, bhakti rendered by my devotees. Beautiful. That is the power. One time Krishna had a headache. Narada Muni said, how can I remove your headache? Now can Krishna have a headache? But this is the part of pastime. So Narada Muni says, what medicine I have to apply? He said, get the dust of the feet of the devotees, my devotees. And Narada Muni went everywhere. No worry, how can we give you dust? If we give our dust, which means we will eternally go to hell. Because Krishna is supreme personality of God. How can we give our dust? So everyone is saying, no, no, we don't want to go to hell. But when Narada Muni came to gopis were willing to give. Narada Muni says, do you know what will happen if you give your dust of your lotus feet? They said, yeah, we will go eternally live in hell. We are okay to do that as long as Krishna's headache is gone. Narada Muni realized how great these gopis are, headed by Srimati Radharani. That is devotion. How Krishna becomes attracted by devotional service of his devotees is described by Narada in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 10th chapter, verse 48 and 49. What does Narada says? Narada is addressing King Yudhishthir while the king is appreciating the glories and Krishna character of Prahlad Maharaj. A devotee always appreciate the activities of other devotee. Yudhishthira Maharaj was appreciating the qualities of Prahlad, and that is one symptom of pure devotee. A pure devotee never thinks himself great. He always other devotees are greater than himself. This whole world is around competition that I am better than others, I am better than others. But when devotional service, the pure devotee, they think other devotee is better than me, I am nothing. That is devotional consciousness. The king was thinking Prahlad Maharaj is actually a devotee of the Lord, while I am nothing. Who is saying Yudhishthira Maharaj? And while thinking this, he was addressed by Narada as follows. What is Narada saying? My dear King Yudhishthira, you are the only fortunate people in the world. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared on this planet as presenting himself to you as an ordinary human being. He is always with you in all circumstances. He is living with you and covering himself from eyes of others. Others cannot understand that he is the Supreme Lord, but he is still living with you as your cousin, as your friend, and even as your messenger. Krishna is willing to take the role of a Lyft or Uber driver. Power of devotion, power of bhakti. There is this beautiful pastime. I don't remember exactly fully, but I'll cover as much as I know. So one time, Dwarkanath, Krishna Bhagwan, he actually was there in Dwarka, and Rukmini got upset with him. And she went to actually um, Vitthal Desh. What is that place where Lord Vithala resides? Anybody remember in Maharashtra? I forgot the place. Where Vithalji resides actually. One second. It's, Pandarpur, yes. How can I forget that? Pandarpur. So she actually went there and started doing tapasya, austerity in Pandarpur. So Dwarkanath Krishna actually went to console her. At the time, actually, there was another devotee of Vithalji. He was serving his parents very nicely. And Krishna came and knocked the door. And this person was saying, I forgot his name as well. Please forgive me about that. Who is there? Krishna says, I'm Vithala. I'm waiting for you. So he threw the stone. You stand on that. I will come. I'm right now taking care of my parents. I will come later. And Krishna was waiting there on that stone until this devotee comes in. And then Rukmini also came. My dear Lord, where are you going? Where are you standing? And she also stood there. So that's how the deities of Vithala are there in Pandarpur. Give me 1 second. Vithala deities. I'll share the photo also. Very beautiful actually. Let me share. Ah, yes. Let me share the screen. Can you see my screen now? The Vithalji.
Yes.
See, Rukmaniji and Dwarkanath are standing on actually on a stone, just waiting for this devotee to come. That is his devotion. That Lord Himself is saying, "Oh, I want to actually wait for you." Right? So that's the thing. Here, Yudhishthira Maharaj is being glorified by Narada Muni, saying that how fortunate you are. In Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna appeared in the universal form, Arjuna prayed, my dear Krishna, I thought of you as my cousin brother, and so I have shown disrespect to you in so many ways, calling you Krishna or friend, but you are so great that I could not understand. So that was the position of Pandavas. Although Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the greatest among all greats, he remained with those royal brothers, being attracted by their devotion, by their friendship, and by their love. That is a proof of how great this process of devotional service is. It can attract even the supreme personality of Godhead. God is great, but devotional service is greater than God because it attracts Him. People who are not in devotional service can never understand what great value there is in rendering service to the Lord. Very important aspect to understand. Devotional service is very, very dear to Krishna, melts his heart. That's why Narada Muni, there is a beautiful version. Narada Muni Bhajaya Vina Radhikara Mananame. Narada Muni Bhajaya Vina Radhikara Mananame. Always thinking, chanting the name of Radha Krishna. Beautiful. In Vrindavan, when Krishna is playing with Gopas, his friends, what is happening there? The Gopas bring various dishes for Krishna. They eat one bite and give it to Krishna. Krishna, my mother sent it for you. Can you imagine? A supreme personality of Godhead is eating jutha. One time, a lot of times actually, what they would do is the Gopas will bring samosa. They'll remove the inner filling. They will put flower petals in that, and they will feed Krishna. Krishna, look at this. My mother has made samosa for you. And when Krishna would put in his mouth, because flowers have no taste, Krishna will like do, and they will just laugh. Imagine what kind of experience. Where is that found in anywhere else? Where supreme personality of Godhead is being cheated by his friends. Where he says in Krishna, "I am the cheater. I'm the cheater of the cheatest." That is the power. That is the power. One should understand that. That's the power of bhakti. So I know we finished chapter 1. Any questions or comments? Any reflections?
And also, I heard that's on this regard. You know how the Gopas playing trick with
Mm,
Krishna. You know,
mm,
one time in the game, whoever they have a competition of games, and then who the loser would be carrying in the back.
mm.
And Krishna says to the Gopas, "No, I'm the supreme personality of the Godhead, so no, you can I cannot carry you." So, and they said, "Okay, okay, this one time is okay, but next time onwards, you have to carry us." So they had that intimacy. Yeah.
Very nice, Mataji. Krishna, after killing Kamsa, the other Gopas also came there. And then these Gopas were saying, Krishna, you killed this guy? Krishna said, yes. And they would start laughing. You, can you kill Kamsa? If we defeat you every day in our game. Okay, let's fight now. Let's see if you can defeat us. And Krishna would be defeated by the Gopas. They will say, look, what can you do? You can't even fight with us. How can you kill this demon? How can you kill these demons? That is the beauty about that love. Their love is, their eyes are anointed with love of Krishna. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayesu Vilokayati Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunasvarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahmaji is glorifying that the devotion is like an ointment on in our eyes. Premana. What is that anointment? The prema, the condensed love for Krishna devotee has, which actually attracts everyone, which attracts even Krishna. And that is with that love, Krishna is ready to become a beggar. What happened in Sudama Leela? Sudama is a beggar and he is getting the chipped rice, poha in our language, which is considered to be the cheapest food one can have. And he begged, and when someone begged, what kind of food we give? The third class one. And he brought that because his wife said, you take this stuff because you don't go empty handed. And that is a principle. We never go empty handed to the temple. If we can't carry the grocery or any of that stuff, you should put Lakshmi in the hundi. If you can't carry the flower, that's a principle. Sudama took that. He took poha because you never go to guest house empty handed. And what to talk about Krishna when you go in the temple? So he came there, and Krishna was so happy to see him. He invited, he make him sit on his throne, and he was washing Sudama's feet. And Rukmani, the goddess of fortune, was fanning him. Whom? Not Krishna. To, to Sudama, who is from material standard was a beggar. And then Krishna said, "Did you bring something, Sudama?" Sudama was shying away. Here, there are beautiful palaces. Even the doorkeeper, in today's standard, billionaire already. Can you imagine a doorkeeper in Krishna Leela is billionaire, trillionaire? That is the power. He said, "No, I didn't bring anything." And Krishna saw that small bag around his waist. Took that, opened it, started eating. Oh, this is so great. This is so great. So happy. And Sudama is shying away. My dear Lord, why are you eating this? Rukmini says, "My dear Lord, are you going to finish up everything or you're going to leave something for me also?" She takes snatches from Krishna. She starts eating. What are they tasting? The love of Sudama. Very similar in pastime is there in Chaitanya Leela. There is a brahmachari whose name is Sukhvinder Brahmachari. He is such a poverty stricken. He's beggar, lowest beggar. He had a lota, what do you call a container of water. He would use it for everything. And Lord Chaitanya entered his house and started drinking water. My dear Lord, I'm using it for everything. How can you drink water? Sukulam Brahmachari would actually beg at everyone's place the third class food, and he was begging and he was bringing a Lord Chaitanya sauce, put his hand, took it and started eating. The kacha rice, the rice which we cook, it's uncooked rice. Lord Chaitanya is taking and eating. He said, this is the most marvelous food I've ever eaten. What is he tasting? The devotion. That's the beauty. That's the beauty when Krishna himself is sold out based on the devotion of his devotee. Any other comments or reflections? Any other comments or reflection? I know chapter 1 was big. I wanted to make sure we cover that stuff. What we covered is pure devotional service bring immediate relief from all kind of material distress. You forget your material problems. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he had melanoma cancer. His body will melt from inside. Organs will melt. He was in so much pain. But he was saying, I'm the most blissful person and I don't want to trade my life with anyone else. Because I am driving I am I'm experiencing the highest happiness. How can you experience happiness when you have such a critical disease eating from within your body? Power. That is what we discuss. Pure devotional service is beginning of all auspiciousness. Shubhada. It brings everything auspiciousness. What is there in auspiciousness for Sudama? What is there in auspiciousness for Suklambar Brahmachari? They are experiencing pure devotional service. And when one practices devotional service, it automatically puts one into the transcendental pleasure. And pure devotional service is rarely achieved. We discussed that part. Out of millions and millions of people, hardly few come to actually bhakti. Otherwise, so much destruction, so much distraction. सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का Om Jai Jagadish Hare. People are stuck on bodily platform. They ask everything to God on bodily platform. I want sukh, I want happiness, I want money. I don't want bodily difficulty. My health should remain perfect. And then the pure devotional service is the only means to attract Krishna. That's the 6 points. So the whole first chapter was divided on these 6 points, covering these 6 points in detail. Right? Any questions, comments, or reflection? I don't think so. I want to start chapter 2 today, unless you think differently. Should we start chapter 2? Hare Krishna.
Sure, Prabhu. Go ahead, Prabhu. If
Okay. Chapter.
everybody's okay.
Beautiful. Now, this is very important. We are talking about stages of devotion because, like, you have first grade, second grade, you come to 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. That's how even bhakti, there are stages. So we are talking the first stage of devotion. Rupa Goswami is telling the three categories of devotional service. While Sri Rupa Goswami describes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is Nectar of Devotion, are listed as devotional service in practice, devotional service in ecstasy, and devotional service in pure love of Godhead. What are the three steps? Who can read it out? Hare Krishna. Can you all hear me?
Yes, bro. Sorry, bro.
Ah, no problem.
I was trying to unmute.
What are the three steps?
Practice devotional.
Am I sharing my screen? Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, okay, beautiful. Go ahead.
Practice devotional service. Probably, are you asking to read the paragraph or
Yeah, I just two lines. Devotional service and practice. That's the first step. Devotional service and ecstasy. That's the second step.
devotional
Devotional
service?
service, pure love of
Pure
God. That's the third step. Where are we now? We are at first step. We are practicing. We are not into the ecstasy. What to talk about the stage even beyond that, which is in pure love of God. So there are many subheadings in each of these categories. Generally, it is understood that in category of devotional service and practice, there are two different qualities. Maybe I'll create a chart for this one and share that in our next session.
Probably,
So
just a question.
yes,
So, practice means what are we doing? Is it a practice or it's not even a
okay,
practice, bro?
it is a practice. We are doing a net practice right now. You can imagine. I'll give you one beautiful story. One time, Brahmaji, you know Brahmaji, right? He
Sure.
is the creator. He is our great grandfather, most intelligent person in the entire cosmic manifestation, right? He creates all of us, he creates the entire universe. And he is an engineer for the universe. What to talk about country and all that stuff. So one time, this four-headed man, our universe is considered to be the smallest universe, by the way. There are unlimited universes like that. And based on the size of the universe, the Brahmaji has those number of heads. So the smallest one has four heads. So our Brahma had four heads. The universe we live in is the smallest universe. I'm just repeating this again. So Brahmaji one time went to see Lord Vishnu, and then he knocked the door, and the gatekeeper asked, what brings you here? He says, go and ask Vishnu that Brahmaji is here. And this gatekeeper went to Krishna, Vishnu, saying that, he says, Brahmaji is here. He says, which Brahma? You ask him. So this gatekeeper came and he said, which Brahma? So he got confused. Which Brahma means what? I am Brahma. There is no other Brahma. He said, okay, tell four-headed Brahma is there, not an ordinary one head. Okay. So he went. Lord Krishna says, come inside. Ask him to come inside. When this four-headed Brahmaji came inside, what he saw, by this time Krishna arranged, or Lord Vishnu arranged, all the universe's Brahma to appear there. So there were 8-headed Brahma, 16-headed, 32, 64, 108. Like that, there were tons of Brahmaji there. And this Brahma, the four-headed Brahma, was seeing all the Brahmas there. And he got bewildered. What's going on here? And then all these Brahmas were giving a status update. Like in our IT, we go daily, we give our status update. They were giving status update. What is going in their own universes. And very interestingly, none of these Brahmas would be able to see each other. So the 8-headed Brahma is thinking, I am the only Brahma. The 16-headed is thinking, I am the only one here in the Scrum update. And 32-headed Brahma is also thinking, I am the only one here. But there is only one Brahma who sees all the Brahmas. That's a four-headed Brahma. Can you imagine? People talk about escape room and all that stuff. Where is that? Forget it. That's nothing compared to what is Lord Vishnu is doing it here. And this Brahmaji, after updates, Vishnuji said, okay, now you can go. So every Brahma was thinking, nobody is giving update. I am the only one which is giving up. But for four-headed Brahma, he sees everyone is leaving. 8-headed, 16-headed, 38, 32, 64, 108. Everyone was leaving there. Now Lord Vishnu said, yes, sir. Like, sir, very kind of what do we call it as what do we call this as
Sarcastically.
yeah, sarcastically. Thank you. Bolo sir, what is the update? Sarcastically. Four-headed Brahma bend down, my dear Lord, please forgive me. I have nothing to say. He was completely grounded. Brahmaji, imagine. Who are we here? Did I answer your point, Naresh Prabhu?
So then in that case, I'm not even in practice mode, bro.
So we are doing a net practice, all of us here. Forget to talk about from if I have to take an example about cricket. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put you down. Please don't think that way. But sometimes being grounded is very important to understand where am I and where I have to reach. Not that you get discouraged, but it will give you a motivation saying that Delhi dur hai. In Hindi we call it as Delhi dur hai, matlab we have a long way to go. So we are doing in cricket we do in our near our home we have a ground or whatever it is that we just practicing in our gully in our whatever the backyard. What to talk about coming to the state level, then going to the international level, getting into test match and getting into one day, long way. So that's what being specified saying that three places, one is in practice, second is in ecstasy, and third one is in pure love of Godhead, right? And then in practice there are two different qualities. So we talked about first is three. Out of these three, now we picked one which has two. What is that? Two different. Devotional service and ecstasy has four qualities. Devotional service and pure love of Godhead has six. I'll repeat. What is that? There are many subheadings in each of these categories. It is understood that the category of devotional services practice is two. So first has two, second one has four, and third one has six. You are all with me so far, right? You're all with me so far, is that right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, beautiful. Because trust me, now we are getting into PhD. Not to discourage you, but I'll tell you, when you relish nectar of devotion, you will relish devotional service. Very powerful book. So now that is being explained there. In this connection, Srila Rupa Goswami suggests that the person eligible for Krishna consciousness or devotional service can be classified by as a particular taste. He says that devotional service is a continual process from one's previous life. Don't think we start here. Trust me, all of us here in the class, don't think this is your first life practicing devotional service. I bet you on this. We have already done some practice in our previous lives and we started. So we read to second grade, we may be starting from third grade, or we finished 10th grade, we are starting from 11th grade. But all of us had already started devotional service in previous life, whether you accept or do not accept. But we missed the bus, we call it as, or missed the train, and we are here again. Which means what? Not to miss again. That's the point. So what is being said is a continual process from one's previous life. No one can take to devotional service unless he has had some previous connection with it. For example, suppose in this life I practice devotional service to some extent, even though it is not 100% perfectly performed, whatever I have done will not be lost. Beautiful point. Can anybody say here, I did a master's degree in this life, I go to next life, and I say, oh, I want to do PhD. Hey, you have to go back to kindergarten, sir. Again start. A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, and D for dog. We have done it in 84 lakh species. But spiritual life, whatever you are doing, trust me, this 1 hour you are giving it right now. Reading this devotional service, which is the highest. So, reading this Nectar of Devotion is the highest book. You are accruing that spiritual credit which will go with you. Nothing of this world will come with you. Nothing. Not even a needle you can carry with you. But this devotion will, this spiritual practice which you are doing will come with you. This every week 1 hour will come with you. Not in an ordinary thing. right? Even though it is not 100% perfectly performed, whatever I have done will not last. In my next life, from the very point where I stop in this life, I shall begin again. In this way, there is always a continuity. But even if there is continuity, if only by chance a person takes interest in pure devotee's instruction, example, he can be accepted and can advance in devotional service. If you don't accept, saying that, oh, you know what, no, I'm just starting from scratch in this life, that's okay. If you want to do that way, accept that, still you have a chance to go. Anyway, for persons who have a natural taste for understanding books like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, devotional service is easier for those who are simply accustomed to, sorry, service is easier than for those who are simply accustomed to the mental speculation and argumentative process. Very important, right? We spoke about this beautiful pastime in South India when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there. He went to Sri Rangam Mandir, very beautiful temple actually, very beautiful city. Ranganath is there. So this Brahmana was an illiterate. He would study Bhagavad Gita every day, all 18 chapters. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the temple, this guy was holding the Bhagavad Gita exactly upside down. And other Brahmanas were laughing at him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and asked him, my dear sir, what are you doing? I'm reading Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because my guru told me you should read 18 chapters every day. But you're holding upside down. Yeah, because I'm an illiterate. I can't understand Bhagavad Gita. But hold on. Even if you're not reading, there are tears flowing from your eyes just holding that book. What brings you there? These are not regular tears of this world. We also cry in this material world. Sometimes the boss is giving a purification. Sometimes the family is giving purification. Sometimes the health is not good. Sometimes financial issues. Sometimes relationship issues. Sometimes visa issues. So much. We cry for that. But this devotee was not crying for any of that stuff. So Lord Chaitanya said, my dear sir, you are experiencing the highest happiness. What is giving you highest happiness which makes you cry for Krishna? He said, when I see Krishna as a Bhakta Vatsala, being a servant or being a chariot driver of Arjuna, and I feel mesmerized by what kind of supreme Lord he is. He's willing to take the role of a charioteer. Where is this knowledge coming from? In spite of we knowing so much, we have earned so much, we have done so many degrees, what is it helping us with? We become more and more atheist. We become more and more caught up into material engagements, material activities rather than spiritual activities. Why? What is the use of that intelligence when it is not used in Krishna's service? What is the use of that money when it is not used in Krishna's service? What is the use of that intelligence or whatever facilities we have if they are not used in Krishna's service? Useless. Shramahi eva kevalam. Useless labor, taking us going into the cycle of birth and death. Someone is wearing the chains of gold, someone is silver, but everyone is in the jail. Nobody realizes that. What's the point if I'm in the jail, whether I wear the golden, the ties or silver ties, chains? Yeah, I'm still caught up by three modes of material nature. But we are busy to change our chains. Rather than silver, I need a gold. Nobody is thinking I want to get out of the jail altogether. How can I do that? So busy. Recession is coming, this president is coming, this is happening, this leadership is changing, there are wars happening, Kashmir, this happened, that happened. Sir, this is not first time it is happening. So many times it had happened. What does it remind us? That life is temporary. Our time in this world is very, very small. We are not going to live here forever. So utilize this time, remembering Krishna and chanting the name of Krishna, and move from lower stages to the highest stage. Krishna is waiting for us. He is willing to offer us highest thing, waiting, crying, when will you come? When will you come? We just have to take our steps ahead that Krishna, yes, I want to give this lifetime to you. So with that, I'm at 8:29. Any final questions or comments before we end? Any reflections? Silence means whether you all understood or you didn't understand anything. So please share some comments.
Yes, Prabhu. So for all I understand, devotional services practice chanting Krishna's name since you wake up and go to bed, and like time is short. We have to do our best to at least remember a higher consciousness of Krishna.
Yes, very nice.
And what's gonna happen next?
Sorry for the heavy class, but it's a reality. When I am sick, the doctor is giving a medicine which doesn't work well for me, but it is for my good. So please forgive me for a heavy class. Any other comments?
Prabhu, a pure devotee thinks other devotees are great.
Mm,
That is today's my take out. And one more point is, no, we can only attract Krishna with devotional service.
beautiful, amazing. That is the crux of today's class. Very nice. We gave an example about Narada Muni is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj that Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying Prahlad Maharaj is great, and Narada Muni is saying, no, you are great. And we gave an example about someone who thinks he is great, what happens to him. We gave an example about our Brahmaji. All due respect to him, he's our great grandfather, but that's the reality of this world. Beautiful. Any other points? Kala Mataji, want to add something? I know Bhimesh Prabhu is driving.
Yeah, I know what. My take was, yeah, by listening to Krishna Katha at the pastimes, we will travel the transcendental path, and then
Mm,
devotional service attracts Krishna, as everybody mentioned, and
yes.
Radharani is attracts the internal
Ah, yes.
potency, and then
Beautiful.
how Krishna attracted by devotional service. Example like Prahlad's story.
Mm, very nice. Very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. That helps me. Sorry, please forgive me. I keep asking because I just want to understand you all are with me. I'm not the one who's driving. Sometimes it happens you walk, you think the other people are following you, but you realize after a certain period of time, oh, you are the only ones. I didn't want to land up there. Thank you so much, dear
Yeah,
devotees. And
thank
when
you. Yeah,
90 minutes, we will continue next week. Thank you so much, La Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Jai. His Grace Radhesham Prabhu is going to be here for this week. He's coming on weekdays, unfortunately, but please try to connect and hear as much